Alright, so I'm going to be showing my unmanned systems transforming stuff. So 20 agents, say 20 enemies just for the sim, or just for this demo. We could scale that up, we could scale that down. And I'm going to mesh them, which we don't need to do, and we don't do during training, but I'm going to do because it looks fancy. Gonna spawn some more agents in as well. And they're gonna, they're given a state vector of their friendlies and the enemies on the screen. Okay, now you can see it go faster just because I want to simulate like faster episodes. I honestly don't show the simulation when we're not when I'm training, but I'm doing it here just because it looks kind of cool. You can actually see that any these red ones are the enemies, and the circle represents the mesh that is detecting them. Now, additionally, our friendlies are like multicolored depending on the mesh that they're a part of, and then the enemies have like these red lines, which are the waypoints they're going to. The friendlies have these little white lines, which are the waypoints that their policy networks are outputting. And then they will sometimes have green lines, which is just like epsilon greedy, like exploration. Yeah. So anything else to note? I mean, they have like a heading, so they don't have instantaneous velocity. Their action space is actually a direction and a displacement. A direction vector and a displacement scalar, and we're just moving them roughly in that direction. In that we set up a waypoint in that direction. We've hard-coded a waypoint code for that. Now, we can see like some part of this network is collapsing to the top left. I think it's just because their observation, like I've simulated a low observation distance. So when we have a small mesh like we do, like up here, this guy doesn't see any targets potentially. And that's why he would go up there. But yeah, that's kind of weird behavior that I need to fix, but still pretty cool stuff. So for the most part, what our training typically looks like is more like this. No meshing, a little bit of a smaller scale example, and they perform pretty well. They're given a positive reward for killing an enemy, negative reward for colliding with one another, then a negative reward like every so often, just to encourage them to do things. What else are they given? I give them a slight positive reward depending on the new displacement to the nearest enemy, to encourage them somewhat to go closer to enemies so that my rewards aren't too sparse. And I think that's everything I do reward-wise with them. Now, this is based on the multi-agent deep deterministic policy gradient network, so I'm not, so I have a critic network and a policy network, and I'm inputting a state space, an action space, and getting my action output from my one policy network that I can apply to any of these agents. Because it's homogeneous, and the critic network is not necessarily for execution, which is cool because why would it want to be? They're just to approximate, what high-value actions are. I don't know. It's pretty nifty. It's kind of cool. Yeah, and then I think when I scale this further or do maybe longer training, they might be able to collaborate a little bit better with one another, which would be really cool. Because that's the entire point of RL for this application. But yeah, hopefully you like that. Bye bye.